On December 1st, 2013, police were called to a home in Boca Raton, Florida. There they found 22-year-old Justin Holt clinging to life. He had a single gunshot wound to the chest. As Justin was rushed to the hospital, officers learned that he had been shot while hanging out with his girlfriend, 20-year-old Erin Steele, and their friends Maddie, Andrea, and Joshua Henry. The friends report that the gun that shot Justin belonged to Josh. Investigators haul him down to the station for questioning.
Have a seat on the other side for me, please. You have ID on you, or yeah, get that out, please. That's good. I'm gonna give you my card. Any questions in the morning, please give me a call.
Okay. Maybe my consultants from the students to show.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
I don't know how that girl's gonna go back to her apartment tonight, man.
Well, she's on her way back. It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You live somewhere else now?
No, it's the same address.
The same address? Okay. Avenue, and that's in Pompano?
Yes, sir.
Is that a house?
Yes, sir.
Who lives there at the house?
My mother and my father.
Okay. Okay. 11/21/90?
Yes, sir.
How old does that make you?
23.
Okay. You have a phone number?
Yes, sir. 954.
And is that Metro? Is that
It's AT&T.
AT&T?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what kind of work do you do?
I work at Domino's Pizza.
Domino's. Okay. Why do you have the concealed?
I mean, just virtually for my own protection, and you know, I do, like, I'm the manager, so I do leave with large amounts of money at nighttime.
Okay.
And, you know, I take it to the bank, and I just feel like it's a little safer. But
How long have you had a conceal?
I think I applied like February, maybe. It's been like 4 or 5 months, 6 months that I've had it so far.
Okay. All right. All right, Joshua, you get up. Let's see.
Do you know how, like, am I gonna have a ride back to the residence where my vehicle is?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the officer just walked in that was coming over this way. She's going to take you right out of here and drive you right back.
What about the stuff that was in the other guy's car? I left my cell phone, my keys, my cigarettes.
And what?
In one of the other gentleman's car, the one who drove me here. He told me to leave my stuff in his car.
We'll make sure you remind me when we're done and we're walking out about getting your stuff, and I'll make sure you get your stuff. That's
Okay.
not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, let's start. You get up this morning. What do you do?
This morning I wake up, I have my boss calling my phone asking me, hey man, do you want to come to work? And I'm like, you know, kind of like, no, not really. I guess one of the employees, the other manager, was supposed to close the store tonight, couldn't come in, he was sick.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like it was headache, you know, give me a little bit of a headache. I was like, listen, it's my day off, I don't want to deal with this, you know, find someone else or fire the kid that doesn't come in. Like, he shouldn't have a job if he keeps calling out sick every day. Me and him kind of got into it, you know, and he's like, listen, just forget it, I'll figure out what I can do. I'm like, all right. So I'm just hanging out at home, you know, had dinner with my mom and dad. The girl who's the residence owner of the house, Maddie, me and her were talking. She was up in Stewart earlier this afternoon with her family for, I guess, the holidays and stuff, and she said, hey, when I get home, you want to come over and drink some beer, you know, hang out. I was like, yeah, sure, you know. Like, I met her probably like 3 to 4 weeks ago through the girl Erin, who I was also with earlier. Me and her, you know, kind of just like seemed to, you know, click and be friends. So she's like, hey, come over, you know, we'll drink some beer, we'll hang out, you know, watch TV, whatever. Because she just got back. I was like, okay, it's my day off, like, let's hang out, you know. And then everything was fine. I went to her house from about saying like maybe like I don't know. I could tell you if I had my phone. It was probably from like anywhere between 5:45 and 6:30 that I got to her house around there.
All right. Go ahead.
We were just hanging out, you know, everything was cool. I went and got some beer for us on the way to her house. I got cigarettes for me and her. The next thing you know, we're just hanging out. The girl Erin calls me. She's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm going to the casino. And I was like, "No, I don't want to go to the casino. I was just there last night. I won money. I was like, I'm not gonna go back and waste it all." And she's like, "Okay, fair enough, fair enough." And her phone disconnected. And then I called her back, or she actually called me back and said, "Hey, why'd you hang up?" I was like, "Oh, the phone, something happened." I was like, "So, I'm with Maddie." And she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna come over, whatever." And I was like, "All right." I was like, "Where are you?" She's like, "Oh, I'm at World of Beer. I'll be there soon." I said, "Okay." The next thing you know, me and Maddie are hanging out. I just went, me and her actually went to the Shell on, fuck, where is it at? I think it's a Shell right around Military and Verde Trail by her house. There's a Shell gas station over there somewhere. I think it's on.
Okay.
I think it's on St. Andrews or something like that.
Come around the corner.
Yeah,
It's right there.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. We went there. We got a pack of. We went there actually to get beer. They didn't have beer, so I went to the BP on Glades next to the mall. Got another 12-pack of beer. Me and her went back to her house.
Okay.
Everything, was normal. We were just hanging out. I just opened the 12-pack. Actually, no, I didn't even open the 12-pack yet. Erin's boyfriend, who was the victim that got shot tonight, was, I don't know if they're the boyfriend or girlfriend, but they were at one point, and I think they were kind of like trying to get back together and work things out. And he showed up first. He's like, "Hey man, Erin should be on her way soon." I was like, "All right, here, have a beer." Me and him had a beer. Next thing you know, Erin came there with her friend, Alyssa or something like that. And Andrea. She came there with Andrea, and everything was cool. We were hanging out, blah blah blah. I was just, I had my gun on me, obviously, whatever, and I was actually showing Maddie how to like physically hold a firearm and not be scared, because she said, "I've never, shot a gun before. Can you teach me?" I was showing her how, to release the slide, how to properly hold the firearm and not get your hand caught in the slide, and, this and that. Just, the basic stuff. And I guess when I was in the middle of doing that, Erin walked in the door and seen, and kind of was like a little interested, but, didn't really say too much. Just was like, okay, whatever. She knew I had the gun. And every time I was talking to Maddie, I was like, "Maddie, I'm not going to hand you it if it's loaded. I promise it'll be unloaded. Just be careful. And even if it's not loaded, still treat it like a firearm that did have a gun in it, because you never know what can happen." And the next thing I know, I took my gun out of my waist for a few minutes. I set it on the counter right next to me where the beer was. I grabbed the beer from me and Maddie. I opened them. The next thing you know, I handed her the beer like this. I heard the bang. I went like this and turned around, because at first it kind of like caught me off guard. Like she maybe like, what it sounded like was she lit a firework in the house, or she like opened a bottle or something, but it was loud. And I was like, "Oh shit, what was that?" So my instant reaction was to turn around, and I seen her, and she like, I don't remember seeing the gun in her hand. I don't know if she dropped it and got scared or what happened, but I heard the bang, and it turned like this, and I started to say, "What the f is that?" And when I said that, the dude said like this, and he grabbed his chest and said, "I've been shot." And I was like at first I was like, "You gotta be me, right?" And then I looked, and I seen, like, I could tell like there was a little blood here, and he just started going like getting all dizzy, and he hit the front door of the house and slumped down, man. And from there on, I was just like, call 911, let's do something. I tried to do everything I could. I tried to like pick him up and say, "Hey man, like, there's blood on my hands and my arms and my clothes and shit." I tried to give him, CPR, and like it scared me, because I was looking at him and his eyes were rolling back in his head and he was bleeding from his mouth. I was like, "Yeah, I can't give him CPR mouth to mouth because he's bleeding. I can't like try to put my mouth on his mouth when there's blood. I don't know if he has anything, Like I was trying to protect myself." So I just I gave Maddie the phone when I called 911 to be able to give them her address, because I didn't know it. She took my phone and I guess went down the street to a neighbor's house, and I tried to give him CPR, and I could tell like there was blood in his lungs, because I tried to blow into his lungs, and I could tell like it was like gurgling, and I was like, something's really bad. Like I could see his eyes rolling back, and I was just trying to like give him CPR, and I said, "Well, this isn't working, like I could feel a pulse, but it's very little." And I said, like, I have to get on the phone with 911 and see what I was like, "Please, like, hurry the my friend's dying, like, please get here, please get here." And then the lady's like, "Calm down, I need to ask you, is the gun in a secure position?" I said, "Yes." I went in the house and made sure it was on the counter, unloaded for the, the officer that got there to be safe. And like the last thing I remember is looking at his face and seeing blood come out of his mouth, and then running outside and seeing a officer with the lights on, and I ran out and like flagged him down. And I said, like, please help my friend, please, like, you know. And from then on, it's just a blur, man.
Okay. How long have you had the concealed weapons?
I'm saying since February. I mean, I can't remember the exact date. I believe I took the classes. I got my new car in February. I'm saying anywhere between April and July, May, June, July. It took me from the day I applied 2.5 months to get it.
Okay.
So I'm trying to put the time together. I think I received it in June or July because I remember it was one of the J months, and then I've had it since then. You know,
up to 2013.
Yeah, of this year. You know, it's only been, you know, not more than 6 months. I could say it hasn't been that long.
Okay. And what is the weapon?
It's a Springfield XD, 9mm.
XD.
Yes, sir, 9mm.
Okay. Magazine.
Yeah, 16 round.
Okay, 16 round.
Yeah, there's
with one in the chamber.
No, well, plus one in the chamber should be 17.
Okay, 17 total.
Yeah,
okay.
total.
And what kind of rounds?
They were Hornady hollow points, red tip hollow points. There should have actually been one. I'm sure you guys had the CSI go through the whole house. There should have been one somewhere in the back porch area that was dropped on the ground by mistake because I was showing her how to load the magazine. And I think she accidentally dropped one, and I just didn't bother to look for it. So that one minus the one that was fired, there should be 14 because I only had 16 altogether. I never carry with one in the chamber. I believe.
Okay. So it holds 17, but you only had 6.
It holds 16 in the mag plus one in the chamber.
Okay.
So 17 total. I only had 16 in the gun.
In it.
Total.
When you first came over.
Exactly. There was only 16 minus the one that should have been dropped because I counted the rounds and there was only 15. And I said, well, one's missing. We'll look for it in the morning when it's daylight. She said, okay. And then all this happened, and obviously he got shot with one of them. So now there should only be 14 in the weapon. In the magazine, I'm sorry, there should be 14.
Okay. I'm going to show you. I'm going to try and draw you a photo of. Kind of like the apartment.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see this or not. Okay, here's the door.
Yeah, the front door.
Here's the door leading out to the patio.
Yeah, yes.
Here's the
couch.
Okay. TV over here, and here
That's
is
the counter.
The counter.
Okay.
Does that seem
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I can understand.
Put everybody where they were.
Okay.
As best as you can remember at the time of the shooting.
I believe Maddie was here, so I'll put M for Maddie.
Okay.
I believe she was sitting like right here on the counter, by the sinks here, and then there's the cabinets and stuff are right here. She was sitting like on that countertop. The girl, Andrea, was sitting in the chair right here, because there's 2 stools. She was sitting here. I originally, when I placed the firearm, I would say it was like right here. The gun was like right about here, like because I was here. So I would say I was like right here, and then there's a table right here behind with the chair.
Yes.
And Erin was sitting in this chair here. The one who actually physically shot the weapon.
Okay.
Was sitting in this chair right here. I placed the gun down. The box of beer was right here on the counter. So I walked around the counter and opened the. Actually, I didn't walk around. I reached over, but I went like this because I have a bottle opener on my keychain. I opened the beer and went like this to hand the beer to Maddie. And as soon as I handed the beer to her and I took mine to take a sip, I heard the bang and I was like, you know, like I shoot my gun a lot, like I'm proficient with it, but never without earphones or earplugs. I mean, so the loudness like made me recognize, but at the same time second guess. And I was kind of like, you know, what the f did you just do? Like, why are you being loud in this girl's house? Until I realized like what actually happened, and him saying, oh, I got shot. And seeing a hole in his chest by it was like right here somewhere. I know it had to hit his lung. And
where is he? Because you don't have him down. Where is he?
See where he was. All right. Erin was here. I believe I'm here. So this is me. This is Maddie. This is Andrea. I forgot about Justin. Okay, so I'll put my name here so you know where I was. Justin was like this. He was like, okay. So the counter's here. I'm saying Justin was right in here somewhere.
Okay, near in.
Yeah, like in between me and him. Like, so I'm saying on the corner of the bar because he was like here, but not like he wasn't right against the bar. He was more out a little bit between the couch. And I guess I don't know if she pointed it at him to play like a joke or what she did, but
Now, is she pointing at him behind your back?
yes, she's sitting like I'm like this facing this thing, and she's behind me, like sitting in the chair kind of over here. And like I could, out of my peripheral, kind of see her, but I didn't realize she grabbed the gun because, like I said, I turned to hand the beer, and I guess she reached.
Which was over here.
Yeah, I guess she reached around the side of me. Either way, I don't know what she did it, but I physically don't know how she got the firearm. I didn't see her reach for it, because I would have said, hey, like, you know, I would have stopped her and said, hey, like, let me unload it if you want to hold it. I don't mind you holding my gun, but please let me make sure it's unloaded. And I guess because I was showing Maddie earlier in the night how to use the gun, Erin must have thought I didn't have it loaded. When I didn't have it loaded, but I did have the clip in it.
Okay.
So what I was trying to show Maddie was how to slide it back and release the slide if you had an empty magazine, so you can put a new clip in. I was trying to simulate like magazine drop, new clip, and slide release, so it would slide forward and you have another round. But I was doing it without the round or the magazine and the gun at all. Like I was just doing it without a magazine. I was like, you know, this is your hand movement, but not having the magazine physically in her hand. Like I had it on the table. And I guess Erin must have thought the magazine was still out of the gun in my pocket, because I put it in my pocket most of the time. And then one time I set it on the table because me and Maddie were talking. That's when she first got there, actually. Erin wasn't even there yet, so that's really irrelevant. But the whole time that Erin was there, I would, like anyone, you know, I would make sure the magazine was in my pocket. And I would be like, here, you can hold the gun. Like, if you have a question, just, you know, don't point it at someone. And the last thing I remember
about the direction.
Yeah, like it had to have been, because I was here and I heard the bang, so I kind of backed up a little bit. And at that time, he was walking towards her. I don't know why he was walking towards her, but I guess he kind of was in shock and didn't realize he got shot, because it was fine. It was just a loud bang. He looked around. He was fine. Like he was just looking around, and then all of a sudden it just went from him being aware of the situation like I was to try to figure out what happened to he's like, oh, I got shot. And I was like, yeah, right, bro. I was like, are you kidding me? And I was looking, and he went like this and pulled his jacket, and I seen the hole, and I was like, that, like right there just turned me into a different type of mode. Like I pushed Erin out of the way. I said, Erin, get the out of the way. I was like, call 911. You got to call the ambulance. Like right now, I tried to like make him like, I kind of tried to like say, hey, Justin, but it was just such a fast thing that I think from him realizing he got shot, he got into like shock. He went into shock, I think. And from
according to Maddie, Maddie puts herself right here.
Yeah.
Puts Josh closer here to
Justin.
the door. Or Justin.
Yeah.
Puts you and puts...
Yes. All right, well...
in the gun here, do you think that she grabbed it here
could've,
and shot in front of you?
It had to have been behind me, because to be honest with you, the way that I was positioned, like she was kind of here and Justin was kind of here. So...
Okay. Right.
Which kind of makes me wonder how, if I was in between both of them, I wasn't the one to get shot. Like, that's what I was just thinking the whole time. How did I not get hit with this bullet? And like Maddie said, yeah, I really do, like, I want to see her drawing and depict it, because her point of view maybe was a little better, because like I said, she was actually physically facing Erin and could see what was happening. Like, all I know is I took my gun like this and set it on the counter. And it was like right within from here to here's vicinity of me, because I wanted to make sure I could still keep it in my eyes reach. But that split second that I reached over to take my attention towards Maddie and finish the conversation I was having with her.
Yeah.
It was just like within 2 seconds. I went like this. I heard boom. I put my beer down and I looked, because I thought someone like threw a firecracker in the back. I thought Justin did it. To be honest with you, I thought he threw like a firecracker or something in the door of the house, because it was that echo. And then I looked like this, and he was okay. So then I looked like this at Erin, and her eyes kind of like something wasn't right. And I said, oh, shit. And then it hit on me, because Maddie said, Erin, did the gun go off? And at that moment, I realized it was a gunshot, so I instantly tried to find the gun. I cleared the weapon, and I said, Erin, what happened? I was like, I was trying, like, at first, like I said, I thought the gun just physically had a discharge, but didn't hit anyone. I didn't think he got shot. So my first reaction was to take the gun, put it down, and figure out where the bullet hole went, so I could explain to Maddie, hey, I'm sorry, let's call the cops, whatever we need to do. And then, as soon as I heard him say I got shot and I seen it, my mind switched into survival mode, and I was like, you know, listen, we got to get this kid to the hospital, call the police, do what we got to do from there. Her picture could have been right, but I don't think that she shot in front. I mean,
Yeah,
if
she shot across.
if she shot in front of me, I don't know how I didn't get hit. I think it happened behind me because I think Erin took the gun and tried to because I kept saying, Erin, don't take my gun unless you let me know. It's a gun, like don't fuck with it. And she's like, okay. And I think she, was just like trying to play around, but didn't really mean to shoot him. I don't think she knew it was loaded, or not loaded, but I didn't think she knew it had the magazine. And she tried to do what I showed Maddie, how to slide it back and release it. And when she did that, she didn't think there was any bullets in it and pulled the trigger, and that's what happened. And it shot him.
No.
That's my determination. Like I was facing the opposite way, but
now in Maddie's explanation or diagram, Andrea is not here.
No. I could have.
Speaking with Andrea, she said she was out on the patio smoking a cigarette at the time. I don't know.
Let me
there.
think because she did go out back to smoke a cigarette, but I'm trying to.
Because she would almost be right in the way.
I don't. She couldn't have been there because, to be honest with you, where Justin was, the chair where she was sitting, there's two chairs. She was sitting at the closer one, so we were all kind of in a group. And for me seeing where he got hit, like actually physically hit in the chest, and where she was sitting, it would have had to either pass between me or pass between her. And it's a surprise, like she didn't get shot. So what I'm thinking is, I think what happened, I was in the house, and like I said, I was distracted with Maddie trying to have a conversation. I wasn't, the last thing in my mind was someone getting shot. So I took the beers and was like this, and maybe she did go outside, because when I seen Justin was shot and see him start walking to the door and slump and hit the door and fall to the ground, out of the corner of my eye, I seen her kind of come behind me, but I stood up and said, everyone get the away from him, and kind of pulled him away from the door so I could open the door and go outside and look for the address. And at that time, it was just such a jumble that after that I walked back inside because I didn't want to leave him alone. I didn't want to leave him alone. I wanted to make sure he was at least breathing and shit. And when I walked past the stairway to go back in the front door, I guess he tried to move because I opened the door and it hit him in the head.
Okay.
So I kind of I kind of pushed him out of the way with the door, but not enough to hurt. I didn't want to hurt the kid. He was already shot, and I pushed him out of the way, and I think she either snuck behind, didn't go in the house, but she was maybe underneath the stairs where they come down, hiding. And I looked at her, and that was it. Where she was, to be honest with you, I don't know. Maddie, I know for a fact, was in front of me, and Erin was behind me on that table.
Okay. So it's almost similar.
Yeah, almost similar. Andrea was sitting in the chair at one point, but it happened so fast that I don't know if she went to go smoke a cigarette when it happened and came in. But all I know is I looked and I heard the gunshot, so I turned around and I seen Erin here, kind of in shock. And then me and Justin were gonna actually go get beer. So I said, okay, what happened? And I was like, Justin, let's go outside real quick. And I was gonna say, let's get the out of here. Let's do whatever. Not like let's leave because the gun went off. But I was gonna say everyone get outside. I don't want nothing to be here. I want to look at the house, see where the bullet went, make sure it didn't go outside and hit someone's car. I want to see what happened. This is my gun we're talking about here. No one else is at fault except for me. You pulled the trigger, but me being a gun owner, I'm responsible. I understand. I'm responsible, and that's why I feel so bad because this kid is in the hospital now, all because of something that's my possession. And
I want to go over just a few things with you. You bring the gun over, okay, and you said there wasn't one in the chamber. You never carry one in the chamber. Never. You have the 16 rounds. You carry 17, but you only have 16 rounds, so all 16 are in the mag.
Yes.
Okay. So when you come in, and Maddie and you are discussing, how you're going to show her how to handle a gun and all that.
Yes.
Tell me how you unload it and all that for her.
Okay. Me and her were sitting on her back porch. I had the magazine because she's like, oh, we were talking. She's like, oh, I went to Stewart, seen a bunch of guns from my friend. I'm interested. I want to own a gun. Can you teach me? You have one. Can you show me what I should do to start pursuing what to do. And I was like, well, number one, do you feel safe owning a gun? And obviously after tonight, the answer is going to be no, but she's like, yes. And I said, okay, well, first thing I want to show you how to do is take the magazine out of the gun. And I did that for her. I unloaded it. And she's like, well,
how did you explain
I had the weapon like this on my waist, and I took it like this and just pointed it at the ground on her back porch and hit like this. I pointed it down and hit the mag release, and it fell into my hand. And I went like this and put it on the table. There's 2 chairs and there's a table in between. I put it on the table and said, now the gun's not loaded. There's no, but let me show you how you know that. And that's why I slid the slide back to show her that there was, like I explained to her, if you don't see a bullet in there, the gun's clear. It's safe to handle, you know what I mean?
Now, when you pull it back, does it lock back?
It can. It has not automatically. It has the ability to, but you have to slide. You have to put the mag thing up. And I said, okay, look, Maddie, I slid it back. I wasn't explaining her how to do that at first. When we were outside, when I believe one of the bullets went missing, I wasn't explaining that to her because I didn't feel safe, like, having my gun out in the public. Like, I was like, let's go inside, and I'll be more comfortable showing you because I don't want the neighbors to be like, hey, there's a crazy person with a gun out here, like, what's going on. She said, okay. But I was like, listen, I'll show you. She's like, how do you unload the magazine? And I was like, okay. I showed her. I took them all out. I held them in my hand. I went like this, and I put them on the table. And she was trying to load the magazine herself. And it was kind of hard because it's a double stack, and it was kind of stiff, the spring. And I was like, hey, look like this. And I think what happened is one slipped, and she didn't catch it.
Because where was she doing that?
Right next to me. There's her back patio. There's 2 chairs right here and then a table in between.
The table that's behind you?
No, this is outside the house.
I found one on the ground, on the ground.
Right by the 2 chairs?
No, right next to the table where Erin was sitting at.
You found it around?
Sitting there. Could that have been from somewhere else? Do you know if you lost one outside?
I
have not counted the rounds, so I don't know how many are there. That could be an additional round.
Maybe what Erin might have did is pulled it back one time and ejected one on the ground right next to her, and then. But see, I don't want to believe that because I don't think she's dumb enough to see a bullet pop out of the gun and still pull the trigger. If you see one come out, there should be more in there. Okay. Especially her knowing me as who I am. Like, she knows I carry a gun. She knows I'm proficient with firearms. She knows, like, I respect them, and to not I'm so shocked because she should know to make sure I have it unloaded because she knows I always have my gun loaded if I'm out. Every time I'm with her, she knows that. Okay. And
so you drop the mag, you show her that there's nothing in the chamber.
I show Maddie there's nothing in the chamber, and I said, here, if you want, you can hold the gun. I give it to her. She says, okay. She holds it for a few minutes. She puts it on the table next to us, and she says, well, how do you She said, what happened if the magazine or if you shoot all the bullets out? And I said, well, you're going to have to either put a new magazine in or reload this one. She's like, how do you reload this one? And I took all the bullets out. I put them on the table like this. I counted 16. I said, okay, look. I said, here, if you want to try, go ahead. It's not going to hurt you. It's not like you can shoot yourself. She said, okay. She tried to put a couple in, and it started getting stiff. And she said, I can't because her nails were pointed at the tip, so they were going down in the magazine, and she felt like they were going to break. I said, Maddie, let me show you. And I took it from her and showed her, but I think either at that time or maybe somewhere around close to that time, either she hit one off the table or one slipped out of her hand on the ground and didn't realize it. But within 10 minutes after that, I physically myself, when it was just me and her still, she was watching a TV show. I counted my bullets and I said, hey, Maddie, one's missing. There's only 15, not 16. And she said, oh, it has to be out back because that's the only place we were at the time. She said, okay, it must be out back. Do you want me to go find it? I said, no, it's raining. It can't hurt anybody. Just leave it there till tomorrow morning and we'll go look for it in the daylight. She said, okay. She's like, are you sure? Like, I'll go find it. I said, no, it's okay. We'll find it tomorrow. It's not going to hurt anything. And
so you took the magazine loaded with 15.
Yes.
And you slid it up in and locked it in.
Yeah. No, I did not. I didn't lock. It was locked in the gun, but it wasn't locked.
No, just your magazine.
Yeah. The magazine was inside the gun. Yes, sir. But it wasn't.
You didn't pull the slide back.
No, I did not pull the slide. No.
Okay. So now the gun is got 15 in it, but nothing in the chamber at this point.
Exactly. 15 in the magazine, none in the chamber. At that point is when Erin started to come in and first it was Justin, and he knows I have a gun too, but he also is good with firearms too. He has a couple at his house, I believe. I don't know his family, whatever. He told me, I know how to handle guns. Me and him went shooting a couple times before. I said, okay, he respects like me. Like he looks at it like it's not a toy. And I think maybe what Erin did was just like kind of wasn't in the right state of mind and said, okay, Josh unloaded it for Maddie, so it's still unloaded, and didn't think about
Now, when Erin shows up, does she see the unloaded gun?
Yes, it was
Okay.
unloaded because I actually physically let her hold it and see that it was unloaded. She's like, "Oh, what are you teaching Maddie?" Because at the time she physically walked in the door, I was behind Maddie like this with my hands around her to show her how to aim the gun.
Okay.
It wasn't loaded,
So she
but
saw
she
that.
kind of seen me with her, and she said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm teaching her how to hold a gun." And she's like, "Oh, can I see?" So I showed her too.
Is anybody pulling the trigger of an unloaded weapon?
No.
So
I told Maddie the first thing I told her is when you pull the firearm to keep your fingers straight. Like mine,
okay.
the XD has like a engraving right here for your thumb and everything. And I said, make sure you keep your hand straight with the slide, but not on top or not underneath near the trigger. I was like, never put your finger on the trigger unless you're gonna shoot someone. She was like, okay. And like she did really good. Maddie was doing fine, but Erin wasn't there at that time.
Okay.
And I don't know how good Erin is with guns. I know her dad might have. From what she tells me, her dad has a couple or whatever. But I've never seen her shoot a gun in my life. Maddie either. Maddie, like I said, was trying to learn because she was uncomfortable with them. I said, if you're uncomfortable, I don't mind teaching you. I don't mind like showing you how it works. She said okay, and then I think just Erin getting there at that time and seeing that we had a gun and like it kind of made her feel a little bit excited and wanted to learn too because she didn't want to feel left out. And
all right, so then you're all in here, and you said you think you placed the weapon right here.
yeah, it was.
Was it not in a holster?
No, it was inside my waistband.
Okay, so you just tucked it inside.
And I just tucked it in and I pulled it out and put it right here on the counter. And the magazine was in the firearm at this point because I had it on my waist because I took the gun for Maddie because she was holding it. I said, hey, listen, me and Justin are going to go buy some more beer real quick. Can I have my gun? We're leaving. Can I have my gun? And she said, okay. I took it and physically, put the magazine and put it in my waist. Something distracted us from going to get more beer. I think, Justin said, oh, hey, I don't drink Stella. Can we go get some Corona or something like that? And I was like, okay, whatever. I need cigarettes. Let's go. So we were getting ready to leave, and that's why we came back inside to finish the rest of our beer to go get more when all this happened.
So then the gun was taken out and placed on the counter.
Exactly. The gun was taken out, placed on the counter because we weren't physically leaving at that point. I said, okay, if we're going to sit down, I want to be comfortable. Like it's in my vicinity. If I'm going to leave this little area, I'm going to take it with me because that's it's just me. I always take it where I am so I can have an eyesight on it. And like I said, like that just instant reaction of Erin, me going like this and talking to Maddie and not paying attention for 2 seconds got someone shot.
Okay.
And
did you hear what was being said from Erin just prior to that?
No, not at all. Like I don't think she said anything, man.
Okay. What about Justin? Was he saying anything?
Justin was
just before
standing here. I think I said, here, Maddie, there was only 2 beers left, one for me and one for Maddie, and that's why we're gonna get more. I gave her the last one and I took the last one, and I opened it. It couldn't have been the last one because there was more than 2 beers left. It couldn't have been the last beer because me and her went to the BP to get more Stella, and what it was the 12-pack. I brought a 12-pack there, like I said, by myself before I got there for me and her, and there was 4 beers left in that, and me and her went to get another 12-pack, but Justin didn't drink Corona and said, or didn't drink Stella. I want to get Corona. I said, okay, no problem. So I took the last 2 beers out of the first box and gave it one for me, one for Maddie. I think Andrea and Erin opened the new box and took one out. I don't know how many is in there. There should be like 8 beers in there, but like I said, I don't know. All I remember is taking a beer. I believe it was out of the old box because I finished it off and said, here, Maddie. And at that time, it was just like, I went like this and I set my beer down on the counter and was getting ready to have a conversation. Like, I was flirting around where I was flirting with her, me and her having a good time. And I was just like, bullshit. I was like, hey, Maddie, blah, blah, blah. And then it was just like, as soon as I got like almost half the words out, it was like, boom. And I was like, what the f*** is that? But it was, it was so fast paced. I was like, what the f*** is that? And I turned around and I seen Erin kind of like, I didn't see the gun in her hand at all. Which is really weird because she didn't have the gun in her hand. So I don't know if she dropped it on the ground or she put it on the table or what she did with it. But I didn't see it in her hand at that point. And my instant reaction was Justin said 2-3 seconds later, oh, I got shot. I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, I really got shot, bro. Like, for real. He was like this, holding his chest. And then he just like, God, I don't know what happened.
Who clears the weapon or makes it safe?
Me.
Okay.
Me.
So where do you find it to make it safe?
What do you mean?
The gun.
Where did I find the gun after she shot him?
Yeah.
Oh, let me think. Like, it happened so fast that my instant reaction...
You go to him.
Yeah, I went to him and I said, Justin, are you okay? And he's like, yes. And then, like, he's like he didn't say yes, but he didn't say nothing. So I was like, well, you know, he might just be a little scared because it's a loud bang. It was in the house and everything, and like he didn't say nothing. And then I looked at Erin. I said, what happened? And she said the gun went off. And then as soon as she said that, Justin started saying, oh, I think I got shot. And I looked at him and like he went like this and pulled his shirt and I seen the hole. And I was like, oh, fuck, you know, this ain't good, man. And my instant reaction was like to help him. I was like, hey, bro, sit down, you know. And then he kind of like leaned against the door and just slumped down. And when he slumped down, like it got to the point where I honestly like thought she killed him. Like, and my instant reaction was like, call 911. We have to get the ambulance. We got to do this. We got to do this. And the last time I remember physically touching the gun was right before the sheriff's officer got there.
When we got there. Yeah.
Exactly. And the lady on 911 said, hey, where's the gun? And I said, I don't know. I walked inside, and I believe it was on the stool right here. One of the two stools. It was on top of the stool. I don't know if it was on top of the stool, but that's where I remember leaving it at. I think it might have been on top of the...
Leaving it? What do you mean leaving it?
Like where I left, because the lady said, clear the weapon and leave the firearm.
Oh, okay.
For when the sheriff officer...
leaving. Okay,
yeah. So I don't remember where I picked it up from, but I remember when she was on the phone with me from 911, she said, you know, is the weapon safe? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to go clear it right now, make sure it's safe, and leave it somewhere for the officer. When he gets here, then I'll have to worry. I was like, I promise. I don't know where I picked the gun up from, but I know I did place the gun on top of one of the
seats.
One of the stools. I believe it was.
But you don't know where, anywhere back in that area. You don't know. If you don't know, you don't know.
No, man, I really don't know. It happened so fast that I don't remember where I picked the gun up from, but I remember getting the gun from Erin, either out of her hand or by her or on the table or somewhere. I just
remember.
remember.
What do you mean by that? You remember getting it out of her hand? She still had it in her hand?
I don't know if she had, it wasn't in her hand, but what I mean by getting it out of her hand is making sure it wasn't around her, because she already had one accident. I wanted to make sure nothing else happened by her being scared or accidentally, the recoil making her shoot again. And I was just like, I know the gun wasn't in her hand, because I would have remembered grabbing it out of her hand, because my instant reaction would have been to grab the barrel and point it out of the way or do something to make sure no one else got hurt. I think honestly when she shot the gun, she got so scared that she went like this and just set it on the table, right, because she was sitting in the chair like this. I think she set it on the back table. And I looked at Justin and seen that he was really up and got scared for a minute, and I was like, oh shit. My phone was also on the counter here at the same time, but I set it down, my keys and stuff, but I didn't really pay attention to it, because I thought, let me help Justin. I kept screaming, call 911, call 911, and no one called them. I said, why the f are people not on your phone? Call 911 right now. And none of them were on the phone, so my instant reaction was to run from the door where he was slumped out, back over here to get my phone. And I think at that time I seen the gun. I don't know where I picked the gun up from. I don't know where I picked it up from, but I know I picked the gun up, made sure that it was clear, and put the magazine and put it on the chair. I put the magazine here and the gun with the slide back on the chair.
Perfect.
And
now, and you didn't count any rounds
no,
or anything like that?
No. It was such a fast pace. I was just I unloaded the gun, put it there, and that was it.
Did you pull the slide back?
Yeah, I pulled the slide back and set it on the chair with the slide back, so they knew it was clear.
Okay.
And I put the gun down, and my instant reaction was to go back to Justin, because at this time I was on the phone. I was like, ma'am, I'm trying to give him CPR. He's bleeding out of the mouth. Please get the ambulance here. Please get the ambulance here. And she's like, there should be a cop there right now. And I heard the siren, and when I heard the siren, I ran out the front door past him, because I had the door kind of open so I could get in and out. And I ran past, because her door opens in, so I opened it in, and it, like I said, he was there, but I left the door open enough that it was this far open. I just slid out like this and said, everyone get the f away. And I ran to the cop, and it was this, flagging, please, come. And
beers, how many do you think you had tonight?
Probably like 6 to 9 beers. I'm saying probably like 7 or 8
throughout the whole night.
Yeah,
right?
like
And
this
what
is
kind were they?
Stella's.
Stella's. Okay,
Yes.
Nothing different. Okay.
No. At my house, I had one Bud Light with my friend, but that was for dinner. You know what I mean? At her house, it was just Stella.
How many do you think Maddie had?
Maybe.
She was drinking the same beer?
Yeah, Stella? Me and her had the same beer, Stella's. She had less than I did, I know for a fact, because like I said, when I say 6 to 9 beers, I mean 6 to 9 beers, like including the Bud Light throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
So I'm saying maybe like 6 max she had, 6, because
Erin drink a beer?
Not in front of me, but she did say that she was at World of Beer before she came to us. So I don't know how many she had there at all. Okay. But in front of me, like I know she's underage. I don't let her drink around me like that.
Okay.
Because just like now. Like,
how old is she? I don't even know. I haven't talked to her yet.
I think she's 20. I think she's just about to turn 21 maybe this year sometime.
And Justin drinking?
Justin had 1 Stella. And that's all I seen him have. Like, he only had 1 Stella. And like I said, he said he don't like Stella, so we're going to get some Corona for him.
And Andrea?
She had 1 beer that I've seen, 1 beer.
Okay. Marijuana?
There was some there, yes, sir.
How much?
All I seen was enough for a blunt, probably. Okay. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did bring a blunt to her house for me and Maddie to smoke before anyone else got there, and we did smoke, and it was gone. I threw it in the bush. Erin came there and did have some marijuana. I don't know how much she had or what she had, but I did see her rolling a blunt. We did smoke that too. So.
Oh, 5 of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Well, no. Justin doesn't smoke. Andrea, I don't know about, but me, Maddie, and Erin did smoke.
So the four of you did smoke. Okay. Pills?
None. I do not do anything except for occasional marijuana and beer. No.
No cocaine.
No, sir. No, sir. Erin, I've known her. She's never around me. Maddie, like I said, known about a month. Never around me. Justin, never around me. If they do it, it's on their own time because they know I'm just straightforward like that. Like, I smoke a little bit of weed and I drink beer, but besides that, I just don't. I don't see a need for it.
Okay. Guns registered under your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's all legal?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Everything's legal. I have the paperwork at my house. Like I said, I have my permit. I made sure I did everything the right way because it's not good to have a stolen gun. You know what I mean? Like.
You have my card, right?
Let me see. I should. Yeah, I have your card.
Any arguing going on between those two?
No, sir.
Justin and Erin?
No, actually, like I said, they were. What Erin told me is that her and Justin were going through a little bit of hard times. They were, on and off, like whatever, just like any couple was. Like I'd see them together sometimes. Sometimes they wouldn't be together. She'd be upset. I'm like, what happened? She's like, oh, me and him are fighting. Okay, whatever. I honestly didn't hear from the kid for a long time. Like, me and her are cool, but I only hang out with him when she hangs out with him, and I'm with her. So it's kind of like a group thing, and that's the only time I really see the kid. But me and Erin went to Maddie's house probably a week and a half or 2 weeks ago before she went up to Stewart for her family trip, and that was the first time I actually hung out at her house with her. Probably 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I knew her before that because she would come to Erin's house, which is really close to my house in Pompano. And me and her met, we became friends and stuff, and she said, hey, whatever, blah, 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 like, come over. And I picked up Erin under the impression that me and Erin were going to go to her house, and Justin so happened to be in the car. And this is like 2 weeks ago. And then I said, well, I kind of stayed quiet. I was like, why is he here if you guys are fighting? And I guess they made up or did what they did, and everything was fine. And today, like, Erin called me and said, hey, I'm at World of Beer. I'll be there soon. Call Justin and have him come by. Whatever, if you guys want to hang out. And I was like, okay, and I called him. And
how do you know Erin fired the shot?
It had to have been her because
Why?
She was the only person behind me, and the gunshot came from behind me. Like,
okay.
I could just physically tell from the sound of the way the weapon.
So it wasn't Maddie?
No, could not have been.
Wasn't
100%,
Andrea?
Could not have been either one of them.
And it wasn't you?
And it was not me.
Okay, so it had to have been Erin.
Yes.
The only one left.
Yes. And like, I don't want to, like, throw her under the bus, but I the reason I know it was her is because as soon as the gun went off, I said, Erin, what was that? And she said, I'm sorry, it was an accident. And I said, okay. I said, Erin, that's fine, it's an accident, put the gun down. I don't, and like I said, I don't remember, because at this time I said, Erin, put the gun down. She put it wherever she put it, and Justin's like, hey, I got shot. And I was like, making a scene. And I was like, you know, my instant reaction is when someone said they got shot, it's not a joke. And I was like, yeah, right, bro, you're kidding me, right? How could that happen? And like I said, I seen the hole, and my mind just switched over to like, let's help this kid, man. And you know, like me and him really aren't good friends, and we are like we're cool when we're together. You know, like we're acquaintances just because of the fact he dates Erin and I'm Erin's friend. You know, she used to date my best friend for 2.5 years, my friend Thomas. You know, they were dating forever, and that's how kind of I became friends with her. You know, and like now everything was fine. Like
All right, is there anything else you can think of that I forgot to ask you and you think it's important to this case? You have my card, so if you think of anything tonight.
I just want to try to like think over this whole situation, because like it was just like everything was perfect, everything was cool. Like I said, Erin, like I showed Erin and Maddie at the same time, like I said, how to know the gun wasn't loaded. And I guess like what happened is Erin just thought the magazine wasn't in the gun and went to try to, you know, slide it back and replicate how you would load a firearm, and didn't realize the magazine was in the weapon and shot him.
That weapon be fired without anything in the chamber?
What do you mean?
Can you pull the trigger on it?
Without a bullet in the chamber? Yes, sir. You can. You can, because it's a striker fire weapon.
Okay.
So.
And would it automatically then place a round in the chamber?
No.
By pulling the trigger?
No.
So you physically
yes, sir.
Pull back on the slide in order to put one in there.
Because
unless there's one already in the chamber.
Exactly. In order to make the weapon fire, it will not physically load one into the chamber unless you slide it back. You have to physically slide it back and make the effort. And it has 2 safeties on it, one on the trigger and one on the back pressure plate. So she physically had to be trying to slide it back, and like, you know, that's okay with me, but the fact is that she didn't pay attention to the fact that it had a bullet in it. And it's my fault, like it's my weapon, I understand. Like I feel horrible at this.
Now, and I'm going to check the amount of rounds in the gun. But the one that is by the table, could that have been one that you thought you were missing outside, or probably not?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I really
so you think that was caused
because
by
I noticed the fact, like the only time I took them out of the magazine was when we were outside and I set them on the table, and she tried to load them
right there.
Yeah, outside the house, on the back patio. When before Erin was even there, is when this all me losing the bullet happened. And I said, okay, I didn't catch it, you know. I just loaded them in. Me and Maddie went into her house. She opened a beer for me and her, and she was watching some TV show, Dracula or something. And when she was doing that, I said, okay, let me make sure all my bullets are here. You know, I know how many it came with. I know how many are, you know, I want to count them. So I took them out. I physically counted them. I said, hey, Maddie, there's only 15 here. I started with 16. She said, oh, are you sure? And I said, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, you know, like I know, you know. And she's like, well, it must be outside because that's the only place we were.
So what you're saying, there should be only 13 in the magazine? Right now.
The one missing plus the one shot, there should be 14. No, you're right, because you said that there's one by the table too, which I don't know how that got there. Maybe it got kicked in from outside, but I don't think so, because...
Okay. Well, I'll check. If there's 14 there, then that's your missing one. Fair to say.
There, as far as I know, there were 16 when I started. Right now, with the one missing that I know, plus the one that was fired into Justin, there should be 14. If there's only 13, then that means that another one somehow got out of the magazine in her possession, because I know I didn't do it.
Right at the table. Right?
Exactly, right at the table too. Which, I don't see how she would pull the slide back and not realize and see a bullet pop out. Maybe she didn't see it pop out, and that's why she thought it was empty and pulled the trigger. And
I'll ask her. Raise your right hand. Everything you just told me in the statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Absolutely.
With Josh pointing the finger at Erin Steele, please bring her in for a formal interview.
I was picking Andrea up.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, you drove her?
Yeah, she lives all the way in Fort Lauderdale.
I don't know. I thought she said she had a ride home.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Because one of the officers was taking her and she said that she had a ride, so.
Maybe one of them are gonna take her.
We could have even given her a ride. I don't know, but we'll see. You have any ID or anything on you or no? No, okay.
I know my driver's license number.
All right, hold on one sec with that, Erin. Erin Steele.
Yeah.
Okay, and your date of birth, Erin?
3/15/93.
1593.
I'm really scared. What's happening?
How old are you? I'll explain everything in a sec to you.
20.
Okay, 20 years of age. Whereabouts do you live, Erin?
Pompano Beach.
And what's the address? Street.
Apartment.
And it's in Pompano
Yeah.
Beach.
Florida.
33.
062.
Okay, phone number for you, Erin.
954.
95. Okay, and is that a Metro PCS?
It's
What is that?
AT&T.
AT&T. You working?
Me, I was until I broke my arm.
I see that. What were you doing?
I was in school for hairdressing, and I
Okay.
just graduated, and I was about to take state board,
Okay.
but I'm not allowed to take state board till I get cleared from my doctors.
Okay. So that, and how long is that going to be?
I'm supposed to be cleared for minimal work in like 3 weeks, and then it's 5 weeks of light work.
I hope it heals quicker than what it should. All right, Erin. I talked to you briefly out at the apartment, and I asked you to come back, and you agreed to come back. And you know you're not in handcuffs, you're not under arrest. Okay, you understand that. Okay, but we need to know what happened today.
Yeah.
Are you willing to tell me
Yeah.
exactly what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you start by?
Saying I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I wasn't going to do that, but raise your right hand. Everything you're about to tell me in this statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
I
truth.
so swear to God.
Okay, why don't you tell me about when you got up this morning? What did you do?
Let's see. I got up this morning, and Olivia brought the baby to my house,
Mm-hmm.
and I was watching the baby,
Okay.
and then
Who's Olivia?
Justin's sister,
Okay.
and I watched her son all day, and we went to Carrabba's, and then we went back to her house, and I was just there, and then everything was fine, and I left to go get Andrea from work.
Okay.
And we were together, just hanging out for a little, and then we called Josh, because we wanted him, Andrea wanted to go to the casino, so I called Josh, and I was like, oh, do you want to meet us at the casino? And he was like, no, I'm at your wife's house. And I was like, oh, you're at Maddie's? All right, we're coming there right now.
Okay.
So then we went to Maddie's, and we got there, and Maddie and Josh were just hanging out, and Josh was teaching Maddie some defense moves on what to do if somebody charges her and how to defend herself, and everything was fine. And Maddie was like cocking and pulling the trigger on the gun, and everything was fine. She like pointed it at my face and pulled it like 3 times. Nothing happened. Everything was okay. And Maddie was like, oh, here, you have a broken arm, so I'll hold it with you because my arm's hurt. And so she held it with me, and she was like, see, it's fun. And I pulled the trigger, and nothing bad happened. And then we were done playing with it, and I set the gun down, and Josh picked it up and moved it, and I turned around. I was cutting lemons, and I was eating the lemons, and I turned around and thought everything was okay, and I just picked it up, playing with it, and pointed at Justin, playing like everyone was playing with me, and I pulled it in this big bang, and then he grabbed his chest, and he was like, I'm bleeding, I'm shot, and I ran and grabbed him so fast, and then he just ran to the door, and he fell, and everybody started freaking out.
Now, you said you were, you picked up Andrea today.
Yeah.
You picked her up at work?
Yeah, at Carrabba's.
And what'd you pick her up in?
My dad's car.
And what is that?
A Ford Fusion.
Okay. In black?
Yeah.
Okay. Black. Okay. And then I heard that you said that you were thinking about going out to the casino.
But we went out that
And who are you going to meet out there?
Me and Aunt Andrea were together, and we were going to meet Josh. But Josh was like, oh, I don't want to go to the casino tonight because I went last night and won a bunch of money, and I don't want to jinx myself.
Okay.
So then we were like, oh, okay. So then we were just debating what to do, and we were like, okay, so we'll go to Maddie's. And then I called my boyfriend, and I was like, oh, can you go to Maddie's? And he was like, yeah, sure. And he drove there and met me there.
And he met you there. Okay.
And everything was fine.
So that was 5 of you then at Maddie's.
Yeah, we were. Everything was fine. We were all getting along. We were all hugging. The boys were about to go get food. And then.
Now, when you get there, who's there?
Just Josh and Maddie.
Okay, just Josh and Maddie are there.
Yeah.
And you get there first, or does Justin?
Oh no, Justin was there.
Oh, Justin got there?
Yeah, okay, when we pulled up and Maddie walked outside, when we were walking up, Maddie walked outside of her back door and I was like, wifey, hey babe, and then we went in the front door and Josh and Justin were sitting inside.
Okay, so Josh and Justin were inside.
Yeah, Justin, I'm guessing, had just gotten there.
Okay, so then, is it at that point that, the gun is being fired by Maddie and...
Well, Maddie, Justin went outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got there, I was like, oh, hey babe, gave him a kiss and he was like, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. And I was like, okay, that's fine. He went outside and then Andrea went outside to smoke a cigarette. And I was in the kitchen cutting lemons and just hanging out. And Josh was showing Maddie, like, Maddie had the gun on her side and Josh was like, okay, so this is what you do when someone rushes you, showing her. And then Maddie was like, Josh was like, no, you're too late. If someone was to bum rush you, you would have already been dead. So Maddie moved the gun to her hip and everything was fine and Josh was showing her everything was fine and then they were playing with the gun and Josh was showing her and then we went outside and everyone was looking at it and that's where Maddie pointed at me and pulled it and everything was fine and then we went inside and Maddie was like, okay, I'm done playing with it and I was like, I'm done too, and we just set it down. And then I went into the kitchen and went to get something out of the fridge and I'm guessing while I was in the kitchen Josh had loaded it. I didn't even see the bullets ever. Never even seen them.
Did you see it
unloaded?
Being unloaded though?
No. But I seen...
How do you know it was unloaded when you guys were firing it?
Because if you look at the bottom of yours, there was a hole in it.
Okay.
I could have put my hand in where the handle was.
Okay.
I could have put my hand in there.
Okay.
And when I picked it up, I didn't even see the underneath. I just seen it sideways. I didn't even look at the bottom. My arm was blocked. And it just happened so fast. I just picked it up when we were all playing.
Okay.
And I didn't even pull the trigger that hard. I feel like it was more sensitive when it was loaded than it was unloaded.
Okay. But we'll get to that point. But it was, you had said that while you and Maddie were shooting it originally, you knew it was unloaded.
Oh,
because of...
the way Maddie was holding it in her pocket, she like picked it up in the air, when her and Josh was like bum rushing her and she had it in her pocket. So when she like flung her hands up to pull it at him and it went up in the air and got caught in her jacket and I could see up the handle that it was empty. And I could see it.
Did anybody tell you though that it was unloaded at that point?
I'm pretty sure Maddie was like, there's nothing in it because when she was cocking it back, it would stay cocked back.
Okay, all right.
Like when you cock it back, it stayed back, and she would pull it and it would go forward, and nothing happened. It didn't even make a bang. It just make a little clicking noise, and the thing would move forward.
Okay, all right. So and then you guys.
Me and Matt. That's when I first seen them playing with the gun. Maddie had it in her hand, and she was like playing with it, like, look at me, I'm a badass, like, and then Josh was like, okay, so back to what, if you were...
I don't know if you see what I'm doing here, but I'm kind of drawing the kitchen area, and then there's a table right here with a bench. Okay, and then this is, of course, another room here.
Here,
and it goes out, that goes out, and... That's like that. Okay, so.
Can I see the pen?
Yeah, I'm going to give you. Can you, at the time that you pick up the gun, can you show me where you picked it up and where everybody was positioned at this point, if you can remember?
Okay, well, this is the kitchen.
Yeah, this is the kitchen.
And there's like the TV against this wall, and then we'll say that this is the couch, and then there's a table over here.
Okay.
And there's some chairs here, and the gun was on this table, and Justin, the couch is more back here. The couch and the table are almost parallel, and Justin was sitting on the edge of the couch, and Andrea, I'm like from what I remember out of the corner of my eyes, I'm like 95% sure she was not in the room.
Okay. She says she wasn't.
I'm like almost 100% sure. Everything just happened so fast. And Justin was standing right here, and I was standing right here, and then Maddie was here, and Josh was here, and Josh is the first one that realized what had happened, because I only shot a gun when I was little with my dad, so I didn't even know. I didn't realize what had happened. I thought the bang was just the normal bang that I had been making. Justin, he didn't scream or nothing. He just put his hand on his chest and was like, "Oh my God, it's blood! I'm shot."
Okay. Now, where's Josh at the
Josh and Maddie were
just
like,
write J for Josh.
They were like right here. I'm pretty sure that Maddie was sitting down and Josh was standing.
Okay.
But I know the boys were like literally getting ready to leave to go get us food. Like they were about to go to Wendy's.
Okay, yeah, I heard that from Josh. Okay.
So Justin was standing. This is a bad picture.
Is it? Did I draw it wrong? Okay.
No, it just like this is all like all.
It's all cluttered here.
I know.
noticed.
I'm sorry. I try to be a neat freak, and this is very important.
Okay.
So let's say this is the kitchen. These are the cabinets. There's the chairs here. And there's a little space. There's a cabinet here. And there's Maddie's little study table right here. And then there's the couch right here. And there's the TV. Here's the table.
Correct. And then the door to go out's right here.
This is Maddie's room. And here's the door to go outside. And this would be the front door right here. And the gun was sitting on top of the table.
Okay.
And it was facing the window, or facing the door. When it was pointed, it was facing the wall, so I couldn't see the other side.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was facing away from me.
Facing away from you. Okay.
And I just picked it up and pointed it out.
Now, so you picked it up with your right hand?
Yeah.
Okay. So you reach over, you grab it on your right hand.
Do you want to put yours?
No.
And he's like, no. Okay. Here, I'm gonna make a pretend one out of this paper.
Okay.
So let's say this is. It was just sitting like this, and I walked up this way.
Okay, so you're over where I am then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just walked this way and just grabbed it, and we were all messing around, and I just pushed on the trigger a little bit, and I feel like it triggered so much easier that time than the rest. Like when we were doing it before, we really had to pull on. Maddie really pushed my finger in when she was holding my hand when we were doing it. When she did it, she really pushed it, and it I could feel it made like a big movement.
Okay.
It didn't.
Now,
it didn't do
did you have to rack it at all?
I
or
think
no?
I tried, but I don't think I pulled it back all the way. I don't, because of my arm. I would have pulled it with this hand. I tried to pull it back, and it just moved back a little.
Okay.
And that was
so you put your hand on it like this.
And I moved.
And then you rack it.
But it didn't pull back
all
the way like when Maddie was playing with it.
Okay.
She pulled it back really
really far, and it locked.
And it did.
But it didn't lock.
It didn't do that.
Okay. All right. So you pull it back.
But it didn't go. It probably when Maddie was pulling it back, this top part of the gun, I'd say would move back about 3 inches. When I was holding it, I think I only maybe pulled it back 3/4 of an inch.
Okay, all right, about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, all right. Just because that makes a little bit more sense then, as far as what people have been saying and all that. So now, where is the picture? Your picture. We're gonna go with your picture. Put your position. That's you. There's Justin's, okay. That's Maddie. Josh, was she standing? Or was he sitting?
I'm not 100% sure. I just seen, right after it happened, he just was like up and in my face.
Okay.
So
was he on the couch?
He was sitting it wasn't sitting on the couch, but he was standing against the side of it.
Okay, so he was leaning up against it?
Leaning against the arm part. Like
Okay.
standing up, ready, like just waiting for Josh to get his stuff to go to Wendy's.
Okay. And you said the other one, which is
Andre.
your friend, was probably outside at the time.
Yeah, I'm like 97% sure she was not in the room. I'm like 97% sure that she had just gone outside to smoke a cigarette.
Okay. All right. So, rack, and then pull the trigger once?
That's it.
Okay.
I didn't even pull the thing halfway. If you're looking at the trigger, halfway, and it's just like bam.
Okay.
Bam.
But it
bang.
was only once.
Yeah. Bang. It made a loud
What did you do after that? Where's the gun go? Where does, or don't you remember?
I think I seen Justin grab his chair. I just set it down and ran at him, and I grabbed him, and then he like ran to the door. Everybody just flipped out. Everyone freaked out. Josh like started crying. He ran to the corner and started crying. He's like, I'm gonna go to jail. It's my gun. What the fuck? And I was like, no, it's an accident, Josh.
Okay. All right. Let me write some of this down. Okay, so the gun goes off. You don't know where you put the gun, or?
I'm pretty sure I set it right back down, because I was
back on the same table.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then what did you do?
I proceeded to him,
okay.
And he had gone to the door, and then he fell to the ground, and then his head went back, and then everyone was freaking out, and they called the cop. Everyone was flipping out, and I just lifted his shirt up to see where it was, and it was like below his chest.
Do you remember how many times you were firing the weapon when it didn't have a round in it?
I only.
Like 1, 2, 3,
I only
4?
did it once with Maddie, but Maddie.
Okay, just once.
I don't know, and Maddie was helping me, but Maddie had pointed it at me, like joking around, and pulled the trigger like 3 times, and she had been pulling it with Josh in self-defense
for a lot more.
5 to 10 times.
Okay, so you only pulled it once during the practice portion of it. Okay.
And I was being assisted.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay. Were you drinking tonight?
Yeah, I had I'd say 3/4 to almost a whole Stella.
Okay, so if that, one beer, one beer, Stella.
And I didn't plan. None of us planned on leaving. We were all staying there.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Any cocaine?
No, I'm on tramadol for my arm, but I have.
You're on what?
Tramadol.
What is that?
It's a
TRA.
I haven't taken it in like a week, so I don't know if it would be in the blood, but I have a prescription for it. It's just for my arm.
Tramadol?
Yeah, it's like generic for Ultram, I think.
Okay. Anything else? Any other pills?
Birth control.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. No cocaine?
Never.
Heroin?
Never.
Okay. Marijuana? Okay. Marijuana tonight? And how much? Do you think?
Not tonight. Earlier.
Okay, earlier.
Maybe like, I just ate like a Chubba Chew from California.
I'm sorry?
A Chubba Chew? It's like a Tootsie Roll.
What does that do?
It's a THC Tootsie Roll. It's from the dispensaries in California. My friend gave it to me from California.
What is in it? I don't know what it is.
THC, I'm guessing. It just.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
A Chubba Chew?
It's called Chubby Chew?
Chubba Chew?
Chubba Chew. Okay.
I ate like
What about a blunt? Were you guys smoking a blunt tonight also?
A joint.
Okay.
A Chubba Chew, I only ate one little piece of it, and just a little piece.
What about hard liquor? No vodka or anything like that?
Nope.
Tequila, any shots or anything
No.
that was going on?
Not at all.
Okay. Nobody said that they were. Anyways,
No.
I just didn't know if.
No.
Okay. How about the other people? Were they all drinking?
I'm pretty sure Maddie and Josh were very intoxicated. Because when we got there was already a 12-pack empty.
Okay. Tell me about your relationship with Justin. How long you been dating?
Over a year.
Okay, so over a year.
Yeah.
Were you going out? Still going out? Did you break up?
Well,
or?
we broke up a month ago. We were back together, and we were doing good.
1 month ago you broke up, but you're back together?
Yeah. No, everything was fine. We've been being good. Everything was good. Everyone was getting along. No fight.
Okay, no fighting or anything
No,
like
he
that?
was texting me, but like, hurry up. I love you. Like, I'm waiting for you. Like.
Okay. And you guys both knew you were going to go to the same house tonight,
Oh, yeah.
correct? Okay. All right.
Josh called Justin as well.
Okay.
But we all called. I'm not the only
But what I'm saying is, just before the shots, there was no arguing or anything between you and Justin?
No.
Was there any arguing between you or anybody else?
Nobody was arguing.
Nobody was arguing?
Nobody was arguing.
It was a good time.
Everybody was having a great time. And
okay.
It just, the moments changed in a tenth of a second.
Did you call anybody after?
My dad.
Okay. Did you call anybody else, though?
No.
Nobody else?
No.
Or did you text anybody?
No.
Or anything like that?
My phone was dead.
It was dead.
I got one phone call and I don't even know what my dad heard. I'm pretty sure he's probably really worried.
Alright. Well, I gotta ask you, did you mean to shoot him?
No.
Okay.
No. Not at all. Not at all, ever.
You had told me, though, that you pointed in his direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you pointed, in other words, at him and not over here in his direction. Because it was happening earlier.
Yeah, Maddie pointed right at me, like, not even at, like, my body. She, like, pointed at my head.
Okay.
And we were all just playing around. Nothing had happened. I seen it. It was empty. Yeah. And I guess because she was helping me when I had it in my hand, I just didn't feel the weight different because somebody else was holding it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I never shot a handgun like that. I don't know how much it weighs loaded or not unloaded. I only shot rifles.
Okay. Let me think if there's anything. You think of anything else that you think I should know about? Anything that happened tonight? I think I asked you everything that I need to. So, how are you getting home? Is there somebody you can call, or?
No, my dad's sick. He won't.
He won't? Okay.
He's sick. He can't drive. He's in kidney failure.
Oh. Whereabouts do you live?
In Pompano, but
okay. We'll see about getting you a ride home.
All my stuff is in my car. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see what we can do for you, okay? To get you wherever we need to get you, okay?
Am I not allowed to go get my stuff?
Well, no, you can have your stuff in your car. Do you feel you're okay to drive tonight?
Yeah, I would be glad to do a sobriety test if you'd like. Am I not allowed to go to the hospital?
I don't know. I'm going to be going to the hospital, so I don't know. Okay.
I just don't really know.
Okay. Raise your right hand.
Oh, sorry.
Everything you just told me in this statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about what happened tonight.
I swear to God.
Okay. All right. Well, you got my card right there. Okay.
So what's gonna happen?
Give me a call in the morning if you think of anything that you can remember. We're gonna leave here and we're gonna go check, obviously, on Justin. And I've interviewed everybody involved. We've been over at the house, so we've gotten the handgun that was used and all
Is Josh
that.
gonna get his gun back?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Okay. He really likes that thing.
All right, well, thanks for coming in and giving your side of the story.
Problem.
Okay, I really do appreciate it. You've been very kind. Okay? Let's go.
Justin passed away from his injuries. The case became a homicide investigation. Erin Steele and Josh Henry were both charged with manslaughter by culpable negligence. Steele pleaded guilty in a plea deal. She was sentenced to a year of house arrest, followed by 6 more years on probation. Henry's lawyers argued that Steele's actions were completely unpredictable and reasonably unforeseeable to anybody in the room, including Henry. The argument was successful, and the charges against Josh were dropped.